Having the right tools in your kitchen makes all the difference when it comes to preparing food. My name is Ellen of Ellen's Healthy Kitchen, and I am starting today a Friday Faves. I'm going to share with you my favorite tools, my appliances, my toys, my gadgets, and show you how I make the most delicious food in my kitchen. I'm going to share 3 tools with you, 3 things that make my life fun, make my life really fun in the kitchen. The first one is my Vitamix. I love this blender. It is so powerful and it does such a great job of making smoothies, of making sauces, of blending. Everything that I put in it works like a charm. If you don't happen to have a Vitamix and you have a blender like a Ninja or even an old-fashioned one, you just know how to work with it. You know that you have to put in your ingredients maybe a little bit slower, maybe a little bit at a time. We all have to work with what we have. So I'm not exactly saying you should all have a Vitamix. I'm just telling you that this is the one that I have and I recommend. Why do I like it so much? Well, first of all, it's powerful. And it really can do a fantastic job of chopping up whatever it is that I put in it, whether it's medjool dates or nuts or frozen bananas. Speaking of which, I'm going to show you how to use those things in my smoothie today. Let's get started. I'm going to show you what a champ it is at making a smoothie. Okay, I'm going to take off the lid and in go the ingredients. First thing that goes in is a frozen banana. The recipe I make calls for medjool dates, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use the ones I have, which are a little bit smaller than medjool, so I put in 2 of them. I make sure to take the pits out. Next thing is a tablespoon of ground flax. Great for omega-3s, which are very important for reducing inflammation. Next thing is a teaspoon of cinnamon. So 1 teaspoon into the Vitamix. Next thing I'm putting in is a tablespoon of PB Fit, which is a peanut butter powder. I get it at Costco, but you can use any peanut butter powder you want. In fact, you can even use protein powder if you prefer. The reason I use PB Fit or any kind of peanut butter powder is because it cuts down on the fat. I don't need to have the fat of peanut butter or almond butter. Sometimes I do, but I try to limit it. So in this case, I want to cut down on the fat, so I use peanut butter powder. This recipe, in addition to the PB Fit or peanut butter powder, calls for a tablespoon of protein powder. I'm going to try something new that I got called EarthChimp. I've never tried it before. We're going to see how it tastes. The next ingredient in this smoothie is a cup of soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, your plant milk of choice. I'm going to use Silk unsweetened soy milk, 1 cup. I'm going to add a few drops of this Sweet Leaf Vanilla Cream Stevia drops. I'm going to add a tablespoon of cacao powder. I think I'll put in a couple of ice cubes too. Okay, here goes. So on this particular bottle, it has a power button on the side, right down here on this side. So I'm going to turn the power button on and you'll see the display light up. I'm going to turn this to just about 1. I'm going to get it started. It's chocolatey enough. Got a little hint of the PB Fit, a little hint of the bananas. I will put the recipe down in the show notes. Make sure you check underneath the video where it says more ... I like to be careful about taking care of my Vitamix, otherwise it gets really cloudy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash it right away. So needless to say, a good blender is worth its weight in gold. And I want to reiterate, whatever blender you have, use. And you learn how to use it. You learn its particular peculiarities. The next thing I want to share with you is this Pampered Chef chopper. I have bought other choppers. I've usually gotten them at thrift stores. A lot of my tools, not all of them, but a good number of them I get at thrift stores. I have to remind myself not to drink my smoothie or eat my food when I'm doing the video because it makes me have a little bit of, you know. This is by Pampered Chef. I have no investment in the company. It's just that I think they make really great products and they make a great nut chopper. I don't know how I lived before I had this nut chopper, to be honest with you. I'm going to show you what a good job it does of chopping walnuts. So this is the bottom part. It's a silicone tray. It has this part is the plastic housing that houses this part, and then it has the blade, and this is all one piece. There are 3 posts and there are 3 holes. You just have to match them up.
Put the plastic on to hold it together. And then you take this part, put it in here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You chop it to the size you want. And the nice thing is that you can see it before you lift this piece out of the silicone tray. You can tell if it's your desired size. For me, that is perfect. I pull that out, and here you can see the chopped pieces. I cannot even begin to tell you how handy this has come in. Now, I could chop them by hand. I could use a knife and chop them for sure. It does not take very much time, but this is really handy. I'm thinking of the other night when I made ice cream, or nice cream as I call it, in my Ninja Creamy, and it was a chocolate coffee flavor, and I wanted to have some pecans with it, so I took my Pampered Chef chopper and I chopped up some pecans, and then I toasted them on the stove. I was very careful because they burn easily. And then when they were done, I just sprinkled them over my chocolate coffee nice cream, and I added a little bit of maple syrup. It was just delicious. I went to town. And if you're interested in having me show you how to use that Ninja Creamy, let me know in the comments below. I'm not sure what they call this, but it's probably called a nut chopper. And believe it or not, I bought this at a thrift store. But I would definitely not hesitate to buy it new because that's how good it is. Third thing I wanted to share with you are my frozen bananas. Here they are. I usually either freeze them in pieces like this, sometimes the whole banana, sometimes in smaller chunks, sometimes I chop them. This is how ripe I like them to be. Really, really super ripe, because then they're sweeter. I'll tell you a little trick. I'll often buy my bananas on the produce cart that is day-old produce, because it's absolutely fine. And to tell you the truth, I buy them and let them get this speckled brown because they're sweeter that way. I peel them. Like I said, I either cut them into pieces, put them in here, and they're so good for frozen smoothies. They're great in the morning when I have my oatmeal. I will get my oatmeal going on the stove. I'll take a piece of the banana out and I will defrost it in the microwave, and then I will mash it and I'll add it to the oatmeal as it's cooking. And there are so many other ways that I can use them too. So frozen bananas are a really crucial part of my whole food, plant-based, oil-free way of eating. My name is Ellen of Ellen's Healthy Kitchen, and I help you plant your plate one healthy meal at a time.